Now we'll discuss about the respiratory system. The respiratory system starts from our nose and mouth. The air enters from the nose and mouth and passes through the airways and reaches the lungs. The two components of our respiratory system are the upper respiratory tract and the lower respiratory tract. The upper respiratory tract includes nostrils, nasal cavity, sinuses, pharynx and larynx. The lower respiratory tract includes trachea, bronchi, bronchioles and alveoli. Now we'll discuss about what are nostrils. Nostrils are external opening of the nasal cavity. Now we'll discuss about what is nasal cavity. Nasal cavity is the inside of the nose and nasal septum divides the nasal cavity into two cavities. Now we'll discuss about what are sinuses. Sinuses are hollow cavities in the skull that makes a part of the upper respiratory tract. Now we'll discuss about what is pharynx. Pharynx is a common pathway for both digestive and respiratory system. Pharynx is a part of throat behind oral and nasal cavity in the head of larynx and esophagus. What are the parts of pharynx? The parts of pharynx are nasopharynx, oropharynx and laryngopharynx. Now we'll discuss about what is larynx. Larynx is a hollow tubular structure that allows air to passes through it and helps it to produce sound. Larynx is also called the voice box. Larynx is located between pharynx and trachea. What are the three parts of the larynx? The upper part of the larynx is called supraglottis, which includes epiglottis. The middle part of the larynx is called glottis, which includes vocal cords, and the lower part of the larynx is called subglottis. Now we'll discuss about what is epiglottis. Epiglottis is a leaf-shaped flap of cartilage located at the upper part of the larynx. Now what is the function of epiglottis? The function of epiglottis is to seal off the windpipe automatically during swallowing so that it prevents food and drink from entering into the airways. Now we'll discuss about vocal cords. Vocal cords are two small bands of elastic tissue. Vocal cords are two small bands of elastic tissue within the larynx which vibrate to produce sound. We have already discussed about the upper respiratory tract. Now we will discuss about the lower respiratory tract. The lower respiratory tract includes trachea, bronchi, bronchioles and alveoli. Now we will discuss about trachea. What is trachea? Trachea is a cartilaginous tube that connects to the larynx connects larynx to the bronchi. Trachea is also called the windpipe. Now what are bronchi? Bronchi are cartilaginous tubes that connect at the end of the larynx, that connect at the end of the trachea and branches as bronchioles within the lungs. Now we'll discuss about what are bronchioles. Bronchioles are non-cartilaginous smaller tubes that inside the lungs that branches from bronchi. Now we'll discuss about what are alveoli. Alveoli are tiny balloon-shaped air sacs present at the end of the bronchioles inside the lungs where exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place. Now we'll discuss about cilia. Cilia are hair-like projections present in trachea, bronchi and bronchioles, but smaller bronchioles doesn't have cilia. Nasal passages also have cilia. Now we'll discuss about the function of cilia. The function of cilia is the ciliary movement pushes out the unwanted particles from the respiratory tract which may enter with the inhaled air. Now we'll discuss about breathing and respiration. and the difference between the two. Now, what is breathing? Breathing is a physical process of moving air in and out from the lungs. During breathing, we inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Now we'll discuss about respiration. Respiration is a biochemical process. Respiration is a biochemical process of breaking down of glucose to produce energy within the living cell. This energy is used by cell to carry out cellular function. The two parts of the respiration are aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Now, what is aerobic respiration? Aerobic respiration produces energy from glucose in presence of oxygen, and anaerobic respiration produces energy from glucose in absence of oxygen. Due to vigorous exercise, muscle cells produce lactic acid by anaerobic respiration. A smaller quantity of glucose, a smaller quantity of lactic acid is taken up and used as fuel by mitochondria to produce energy. But the remaining lactic acid is built up in the muscle, which result in muscle pain, cramp, and muscle fatigue. But lactic acid build-up is temporary. Now we'll discuss about how gas transport takes place. First, I will discuss about how oxygen gets transported. Oxygen gets transported by two methods. First, only 1.5% of oxygen is taken. Only 1.5% of oxygen is directly dissolved into the blood. Remaining 98.5% of oxygen is bind with hemoglobin and form oxyhemoglobin. Near the tissues, oxygen gets released from the hemoglobin and are absorbed in the tissues. Now I will discuss how carbon dioxide gets transported. Carbon dioxide gets transported by two methods. First, only 15% of carbon dioxide is directly dissolved into the blood. Second, about 10% of carbon dioxide is bind with globulin portion of hemoglobin and form carbaminohemoglobin. Now we'll discuss about third, remaining 85% of carbon dioxide is converted to remaining 85% of carbon dioxide is converted to bicarbonate ions and dissolve in plasma. In the lungs, bicarbonate ion again convert to carbon dioxide. Now we'll discuss about lungs and diaphragm. Now first I will discuss about lungs. What is lungs? Lungs are a primary organ. Lungs are the primary organs of the respiratory system. Lungs are the primary organs of the respiratory system. They are the pair of pink and spongy elastic organs protected by rib cage. There are two lungs in thoracic cavity. The left lung and right lung. The left lung has two lobes, whereas the right lung has three lobes. The left lung lobes name are superior lobe and inferior lobe, and the right lung lobes name are superior lobe, middle lobe, and inferior lobe. Left lung is slightly smaller than the right lung because left lung share space with the heart. Both the lungs is surrounded by a membrane called pleura. The inner membrane which covers the lungs is called visceral pleura, whereas the outer membrane which is attached with the chest wall is called parietal pleura. The space between visceral pleura and parietal pleura is called pleural space or pleural cavity. The fluid found in pleural cavity is called pleural fluid. What is the function of pleural fluid? The function of pleural fluid is pleural fluid act as lubricant to prevent friction between visceral pleura and parietal pleura. Now we will discuss about the steps of breathing.
Diaphragm.
Diaphragm. Now we will discuss about what is diaphragm. Diaphragm are muscular sheets that divide the body cavity into two cavities. One is thoracic cavity and the other one is abdominal cavity. Now we will discuss about the steps of breathing. Breathing is also called pulmonary ventilation. There are two steps of breathing: inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation is also called inspiration. Exhalation is also called expiration. First I will discuss about inhalation. During inhalation, ribs move upward and downward. Ribs move upward and outward. Diaphragm move downward and become flattened. Lungs gets expanded. Therefore, air pressure within the lungs becomes low as compared to the atmospheric pressure. Thus, air rushes from the lungs.
Rushes air from the atmosphere into the lungs.
Rushes air from the atmosphere into the lungs. Now we will discuss about exhalation. During exhalation, ribs move inward and downward. Diaphragm move upward and become dome shaped. Lungs get squeezed. Therefore, air pressure within the lungs become high as compared to atmospheric pressure. Thus, air rushes out in the atmosphere. From the lungs. Now we'll discuss about the functions of the respiratory system. The functions of the respiratory system are pulmonary ventilation, olfaction and phonation. Now we'll discuss about the differences between breathing and respiration. Breathing is a physical process, whereas respiration is a biochemical process. Breathing takes place in the lungs, whereas respiration takes place in cells. Breathing is a voluntary process, whereas respiration is an involuntary process. During breathing, no energy is produced, whereas during respiration, energy is produced in the form of ATP. During breathing, no enzymes are used, whereas during respiration, a large number of enzymes are used. This is all about the respiratory system.
Very good. One thing you have done mistake while communicating about the transportation of carbon dioxide. Do you want to repeat that? You have made a mistake on the percentage. First one will be 5%.
Yes.
It is not 15%. Do you want to repeat that? The carbon dioxide transport?
Yes.
How it is transported through blood?
Yes.
Okay.
The carbon dioxide gets transported by three methods. First, only 5% of carbon dioxide, only 5% of carbon dioxide is directly dissolved into the blood. Second, about 10% of carbon dioxide, about 10% of carbon dioxide is bind with the globulin portion of hemoglobin and form carbaminohemoglobin. Third, remaining 85% of carbon dioxide is converted to bicarbonate ions and get dissolved in plasma in the lungs. Lungs, bicarbonate ion again convert to carbon dioxide and get expelled out.
Very good. Very good.